gets someone as a later match.
I mean, he's one of those players that you plug into several positions, and he's
Yeah,
roughing
because
up
he played
Seto.
forward last game.
Right.
I double checked when they have Zaire. Which I thought maybe they would just do that.
Yeah, I kind of like him as a second option. But
Hey, he's eating something good. No chance.
yeah, no. By the way, John asked me to do listed and he's walking to the side table, and I said I guess I went through my quota of talking for like a week and a half. He comes over and he sits down and we talk for 5 minutes, and of course, it took a while for him to really get a good quote, but he finally got a good quote. It's like took you so long. He's to overdo it with one player, but he's doing it with other things really, really well.
Yeah.
Because he told me, I apologize if I'm getting very selfish.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Focus, but he told me,
No, I was trying to. You can't. You could go to the.
you probably realize
Would be, better attendance. We've already lost.
Oh,
Okay, so I think if they keep winning,
I
it's here, it's Columbia, back here, and then St. John's. St. John's is in Queens.
And it's a 7:30 game, right? So.
I think they have been, yeah. So.
Okay, so it's still possible. I have
You have a Liberty or something?
no, I have one of my cousins. They're moving from New York.
Okay.
So we're putting together something for them that Saturday, but they haven't confirmed if it's in the morning or in the night. If it's early, then I'll go and I'll drive over.
It'd be in the city.
Yeah, it'll be in the city.
Okay.
Well, they would convince them because they live in Rockland County. Like,
Nobody wants to go up there.
So it'll be in the city. Just working out with the times with the venue.
Okay.
So. Well, more likely than not, I should be able to get here 5, 6.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's easier. My setup is easier in Columbia.
Oh, which one will be Columbia?
21st is Columbia.
Yeah, the 21st I'm
Oh,
good
you're
for.
good.
Yeah, I have a
The next one
Liberty
will
game.
be back here.
Yeah, I have a Liberty game the 21st, but I'm gonna it's early game, so I'm gonna leave before it ends.
Okay.
And get over.
Well, we got to keep winning, so.
Oh.
They don't. Now it's 1-0.
Where was the final?
St. John's.
Oh, okay. Not bad. And what day was that?
That would be August 4th, I think.
I
Then
forget.
we're all
I
Saturdays.
should definitely find someone for that.
Okay.
That one I have a Liberty game that I'm already skipping.
Well, I'll probably need. They want to, as long as they price it. Okay, they want to do lifts on the other side for if they win. So for the 28th back here, we want to put a truck on that side. So you can work it in a truck. And I'd probably need to do that at St. John's too. So that's on the
For the
4th.
20. Oh,
For the 4th, and I'll get the TV from the truck guy.
I'm all the way up in Sullivan County.
Oh, okay. You should be good. Just check your lights, levels. Check 1 2 2 2 2. Check 1 2 2 2 2 1 2. That'll be Sal.
The one that's going out on the street?
Which?
I hear that. I'm saying, is you streaming now? You want me to?
Oh yeah, you can mute it.
iba a venir, que Álvaro no venía.
¿No va a venir? ¿Quién dijo? Teresa. Teresa dijo era que
¿Cómo
Álvaro iba
así,
a venir.
mami? No entiendo. O sea, Álvaro le dijo a su merced que no iba a ir, pero... Ah, el que Teresa está llevando a Roxana lo del extraño.
No, te lo compré el año pasado.
O en otro lado. Yo pensé que no,
No,
pensé
lo
que
compré
cambia.
en línea también.
Es que lo que pasa es que la ropa sale, la piel de un tamaño y le viene de otro.
No,
¿En línea se puede?
no, esta es la compré. Pero en línea la media.
Yo pensé que iban a estar vendiendo acá, pero no.
No, no, están preguntando.
Voy a sacar
up,
Hey,
dude?
what's up?
What's up?
Good, good. Oh. So did you go, you went to the fire game?
No, I couldn't.
Oh, really?
I had Germans that came. I just showed them around New York City.
Oh, yeah? We had a block party. So, they get to be like some white people.
DQ'd.
Yeah. DQ'd. But I was telling Andrew, so you left the games, you went to extra time, like penalty. Competition was getting stiffer to get in. Feeling a little nervous.
They have a home field advantage now, though, because the number one team lost last night.
Oh, really?
The Cosmos have home field advantage. They're not every, yeah, pretty much like every step game.
Hopefully they do. Well, no, you said weekends if they're there.
Yeah. No, with this, yeah. Yeah.
So easy. The Birch team is next. So there's nothing left. No. They probably sold it all.
Yeah, it was pretty much whatever's inventory was left.
Some decals at home.
Get on, Chris. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Good. Yeah.
This is my daughter Avery.
Hi, how you doing?
My friend Andrew. What's up, Chris? Andrew. Nice to meet you.
Missed a good one on Saturday.
What?
Missed a good one on Saturday.
Yeah.
What?
It was I went to penalties. Yeah. It was good. It was a little more dramatic than you were hoping for at this round, but they made it through. We didn't want to go to penalties, but when Garcia got a red card in like the 80th minute, it was like, you didn't see how they were going to score at that point,
Where's this team from?
This team's from Frederick, Maryland, so yeah, it's near like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's like west of Philadelphia. Some kind of north of like the northern Virginia suburbs.
So when does so it's Motown against
Baltimore, yeah. And Motown's like in LA.
The Northeast region of the NPSL is down to 4 teams. It's the semifinals with the New York Cosmos B hosting the underdogs FC Frederick tonight from the Hofstra Soccer Stadium on Long Island. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jonathan Yardley alongside Sal Rosamilia. Looking forward to this one. The Cosmos undefeated on the year, 11-0-1, winning the North Atlantic title in a shootout on Saturday over Brooklyn. Frederick, an underdog, pulled off 2 upsets to win the Mid-Atlantic title and get here with a 2-1 win over FC Baltimore on Saturday. FC Frederick out of Maryland, a 4th-year club. And almost all of these players came through their youth system at some point. Everybody except one player is from Maryland. They'll play a 4-2-3-1. Kevin Morris, Justin Lee, the holding mids are two of the important players to watch. But Sal, we talked to Chris Spinks before the game, really optimistic approach.
Yeah, refreshing to hear a coach have some confidence coming onto the road. He fell short of saying that he was going to take the game directly to the Cosmos. But much like Brooklyn Italians, and speaking with the head coach prior to the last match the Cosmos played, he was quite confident. They ended up giving New York a great game, losing in penalty kicks. So I'm interested to see. Certainly head coach Chris Spinks of FC Frederick, I think, feels really good about his chances going into tonight's match.
You saw the Cosmos starting lineup. Rafael Garcia is suspended and Bledy Bardic is hurt, but Darwin Espinal makes his first start back from injury. And Zaire Bartley, a goal in each playoff game, steps into the lineup at forward alongside Wojciech.
And Bartley, I think, is a key tonight, Jonathan, just to give some dynamic ability, some fresh legs on the field from the beginning, because also what head coach Chris Spinks spoke about with us prior to the game is the young legs, the youth that FC Frederick has, the athletic ability, the college players that are going to go out tonight and have a great opportunity against a quality club like the Cosmos. But Cosmos have some of those type players as well, and I look to Zaire Bartley as a key for them tonight to give them that athleticism, that stretch of the defense of Frederick, that Wojciech necessarily, not that he can't, but I think it's a good tandem for him. Wojciech was alone the last time a lot against the Brooklyn Italians in the last match, and he's got a good strike partner in Bartley who can do a lot of the work, a lot of the running, and then Wojciech can maybe take advantage of some opportunities around the top of the box.
One of two semifinals in the Northeast region of the NPSL. On the road to the NPSL semifinals. The regional championship game will be Saturday night. Both of these teams hope to be there. One game away from the region championship. It's the North Atlantic Conference titleists, the New York Cosmos B in green and white, and the Mid-Atlantic champions FC Frederick in blue and white, squaring off tonight at Hofstra University on Long Island. Again, thanks for checking out the NPSL postseason. I'm Jonathan Yardley. He's former Columbia All-America goalkeeper Sal Rosamilia. And we'll be bringing you all of this one. The first two Cosmos playoff games and one of FC Frederick's two playoff games have gone to extra time, so maybe a long night. We're glad you're with us.
Again, something that FC Frederick coach Spinks spoke about, Cosmos having to play back-to-back games, double overtime. One went to penalty kicks, and maybe his younger, fresh legs might have an advantage because of that tonight.
That'll be a Cosmos B throw-in for Jonathan Barajo. As usual, a coach checked our starting lineup, told us who was going to be on what side, and then sent his wingers out the absolute reverse of what they told us. We're getting used to it. Here is Barajo. He had the clinching penalty kick in the shootout over the Brooklyn Italians on Saturday. Goes in the books as a tie, so the Cosmos B officially 11-0-1 in NPSL play this year. There's Espinal winning the ball, finding Bartley, back post. Couldn't connect with anybody in green and white, but the Cosmos dangerous early.
Yeah, pressing forward there. Wojciech just missed that on the far post. A good touch at the top of the box from Bartley and Chatella trying to make that combination.
Christian Centeno is the referee tonight in the middle of your picture, or he was. Justin Lopez, Ignacio Guzman, the assistants, Kevin Scalarud, the fourth official, as Phil Brano takes the goal kick. We're not going to give you everybody's hometown for FC Frederick because they're all in Maryland, most of them in about 3 counties. Guidry, the forward, who just poked the ball away, is the only player from anywhere other than Maryland. He's from Virginia and played at William & Mary with the Esque brothers, who we'll tell you about. There's a turnover, falls almost to Seydou Touré for Frederick, but the Cosmos able to get it away for the moment. A nervous moment in each penalty area in the first 2.5. Northeast region, the focal point of the NPSL playoffs tonight. Last night it was the South, where Miami FC 2 beat the Atlanta Silverbacks. Sounds like an NASL scoreboard, 2-1 in one South region semifinal. And the Laredo Heat, unbeaten on the year, were upset in overtime by the Little Rock Rangers in the other semifinal. So Miami will host Little Rock in the South Region Championship game on Saturday. And that leaves the Cosmos as the highest remaining seed in the NPSL postseason. This is Danny Jatella, the captain, out wide for Barajo. Tough pass for Wojcik to handle, and it runs all the way to Breno in goal.
Yeah, that's a ball that target players want at their feet at the top of the box. That one was hit a little too hard by Barajo up at the shins and knees of Wojcik, but with that Laredo Heat loss, the Cosmos, if they continue to win, as long as they are still playing in the playoffs, they'll have home matches the rest of the way.
Cosmos overtime in both games, and the goalkeeper Kevin Tainho and 3 of the 4 defenders, Barajo, Halfhill, and Penzini, are the only ones to play all 240 minutes. But it's a lot of wear and tear in a short amount of time. 3rd game in 8 days, and the first 2 have gone to overtime. Pretty even on both sides. FC Frederick is playing its 3rd straight road game, and one of those went to overtime. So I don't think tired legs are going to be an excuse either way tonight.
Well, both teams are blessed a little bit more than some of the others in this league with a fair amount of depth. Head coach Chris Spinks prior to the game told us he's got players playing in this game, starting in this match, that weren't playing earlier in the year, and he's pretty comfortable with his entire roster.
We told you who was out for the Cosmos. FC Frederick not at full strength either. Their leading scorer, Jake Goslin, is available on the bench, but definitely not 100%. Came out injured in the Mid-Atlantic title game against FC Baltimore. Graham Guidry pokes the ball away from Barajo, tries to find William Eskay, was behind him. John Neeskins clears for the Cosmos. FC Frederick also missing Jackson Eskay, who was hurt in the middle of the season, the oldest of the 3 Eskay brothers. Sean Baker is suspended, and Mateus Tanan, a Brazilian midfielder, is back in Brazil getting things squared away before his college season. And so they're not at full strength either. That's just the price of doing business this time of year. This is Travis Pittman playing a little deeper on the field because Rafael Garcia is suspended.
Yeah, right.
Espinal, tricky-footed dribble. That's headed away at the back. Nate Lee, one of 2 Lees in the starting lineup, brothers, headed that one away.
Espinal did well there, but then has to get it over that first defender, Lee. Had some players in middle of goal, back post.
Espinal, another chance to cross. That's blocked out of bounds for a Cosmos corner, the first of the game.
And Frederick with all 11 players defending now in the box.
Neeskins, the left-footed option. Espinal, the righty for the Cosmos. It'll be John Neeskins to deliver. Wojcik missed the flick at the near post, and Eskay just plays it out for Guidry to run for Frederick. Toure busting up the far side. And well done by Jalen Brown to track back and cover for him.
Yeah, that's always the danger on corner kicks, especially when you have your left back taking a corner. You usually have your 2 center backs with good size in the box competing for those crosses. Counterattack is always a possibility off a corner kick.
Pittman to Wojcik, pressured by, well, it was one of the Lees, it was Nate Lee. Tommy Spear able to get the ball away, and he draws a foul at the halfway line. Spear back to his feet, rising sophomore at Palm Beach Atlantic, Division II school in Florida, where he transferred after beginning his collegiate career at High Point.
And he's grabbing his right hamstring and
they don't need another injury.
No, and his shorts came up, and he's got a wrap underneath there, too.
Jalen Brown steps onto the ball for New York, but turned it over to Justin Lee. Jake Wilkinson and the right back Bilal Hassan get it away. Offside flag is up against Guidry, who began the play in the attacking half and thus was off. It'll be a Cosmos free kick. Spear heads that one away. It'll stay with New York. 6 teams in the Mid-Atlantic Conference of the NPSL. Frederick finished 3rd and 3 make the playoffs. They played the 2nd seed Northern Virginia United, went to overtime, went down a goal in overtime, tied it, and won in a shootout. And then on Saturday, they played at FC Baltimore, won 2-1. Breno with 6 saves in each of those games. Was a busy man at the back. But it's the 4th year for FC Frederick, just like it's the 4th year in the NPSL for New York Cosmos B. Slightly different organizations though, Sal. You talk about a team designed as a B team for a professional club versus a team designed to be the pinnacle maybe, as Neeskins lets it rip and Breno able to knock it away for a corner kick.
That's a big save there for Breno. First real touch in the match for him. And that's a wicked shot from distance by Neeskins. That's the one that really gives goalkeepers some difficulty, as we'll see here. It's not a short hop, which would have been a little bit easier, and it's not a bounce from far away. It's that in-between bounce inside the 6, right in front of Breno. Did really well to handle it and clear it aside for the corner kick. Tough first save, tough first touch for the goalkeeper, but should give him some confidence moving forward. And as you were just mentioning, should have some confidence coming off his 2 playoff games. Been a busy guy.
Cosmos take the corner kick short. Neeskins way to the back post, too high even for the imposing Garrett Halfhill. And it'll be a goal kick for Breno.
In Frederick, you look at their regular season record, and you mentioned they finished in 3rd and 3 teams make the playoffs. They had 4 losses, but 2 apiece to the 2 teams ahead of them, who they ended up advancing in the playoffs, playing both of those teams and able to reverse those results from the regular season. So it's a team that's obviously playing pretty well, kind of got it all figured out with the college guys moving forward. Definitely come in with some confidence tonight.
Brian Flatter couldn't connect with anybody on that one. It'll be a Cosmos throw-in.
Little Rock beat Laredo,
They've got the young legs, but they're not going to really waste it with a lot of high pressure tonight. Does not appear.
Wojcik brings the ball down out wide for Jalen Brown, 2nd-year man out of Xavier. Right-footed switch for Espinal. Barajo overlaps. Chipped into the 6, and Breno, after a moment's hesitation, came to get it just ahead of Zaire Bartley.
He's just a big, imposing figure, though, inside that box. Aggressive off his line there from Breno.
He was on the UMBC team that went to the College Cup in 2014. He was the starter at the beginning of the year and got replaced mid-season. Later transferred and finished with 2 years as the starter at William & Mary. Mostly current college players, but a few recent graduates like Breno, like William Eske, number 14, down at the bottom of your picture.
That was a shame that he ended up getting
There's Bartley with his speed running onto the ball in the 18, gets it to Wojcik. Closed down by Spear just enough to win a goal kick.
He's Croatian, right? He's Croatian, right? Yeah. He turned up. He filled up that whole.
Did you let your defenders tie your laces, Sal?
Well, you have to. Sometimes your wrists are all wrapped up and the gloves are on and they're feeling good. You don't want to take them off. So, yeah, I'd have the defenders carry the bags for me. Just whatever needed to be done, that's what they're there for.
I think it was better for the team, actually, when he left. Because they
We're in the 13th minute, no score yet.
could have found a way to play, for everyone to play well, but together.
Well, he definitely wanted to play.
Yeah, he was training. He was getting in shape.
Hassan caught Bartley there as he tried to clear the ball. No malice, but it was a rough challenge and a pretty high one. This is Toure, gets it around one, trying to get it back from Flatter, but it's out of reach. Seydou Toure, the old man of the team at 33. Born and raised in Guinea, lived in France, moved to the U.S. 10 years ago, 2008. He's an indoor soccer legend in the Frederick soccer community, and he just keeps going, playing with the young guys. He had a goal in their semifinal upset, playing on the wing again tonight. Pittman moves it quickly for the left back, Neeskens. Toure out to meet him. Jalen Brown. 10 behind the ball for Frederick here in the early going as the cross comes in, headed out by Morris. Second ball headed down. And the Cosmos will reset at the back.
Yeah, with Frederick sitting in like they are right now, Jonathan, the Cosmos going to have to use the width of this field a little bit more. They're trying to attack with some connections at the top of the box. They're getting to the 18 and then really having a tough time at that point breaking through. Got to get Barajo wide, Neeskens wide on the left. Try to draw some players out wide and then try to serve them into the box. But Breno's, if he's going to continue to be aggressive off his line like that, you're going to have to serve a better ball in.
We told you about FC Frederick's regular season. On the Cosmos side, 10-0, won by an average of 3 goals a game. Just dominant. But the playoffs have been a completely different story. Trailed in the first half against Elm City a week ago. Needed overtime before winning that one 4-2. Trailed in the second half for the first time all season, except in the Open Cup, of course, against Brooklyn in the conference final on Saturday. Tied that game, but then had to ride out overtime with 10 players due to a red card. Wound up winning the shootout. Jatella making the run onto the end of the Barajo service. Sends it in. Wojcik's header right to Breno. First clear-cut opportunity. And the second save already for Phil Breno.
And that's where they'll have more success, starting the attack from out wide with Barajo there. Draw some defenders out of that packed 18. That's Jatella. Sorry, Barajo can get up and down that right side as well, but it's a good service into the box. You draw some defenders out wide by using the width of the field, and then it opens up that space there for the header for Wojcik. Good positioning again by Breno.
Wojcik is 6'4", 26-year-old who played collegiately at Bradley. He's in his 5th year as a pro. His first with the Cosmos, and he's one of their multiple high goal scorers on the year, but Wojcik now has 9 in all competitions. Mishit by Kevin Morris, the West Virginia man who's been outstanding for Frederick this year, both as a center back and as a defensive mid, going back and forth when needed.
Zaire Bartley's got to find his way into this game a little bit more. He's used to coming on off the bench in these last couple of playoff games and really finding some space in the middle of the field. Now he's one of the 2 forwards that the Cosmos started tonight, side by side with Wojcik. He hasn't had very many touches just yet.
That's given away, picked off by Morris, gets it to Seydou Toure. Morris kept it moving. Nice turn by Guidry. Looking for Eske, former teammates at William & Mary. William Eske able to keep it in. Plays a 1-2 with Justin Lee. Left-footed cross blocked by a sliding Barajo and out for a corner kick.
Good defending there. Good little connection finally in the final third from FC Frederick. First real chance moving forward with some combination play. And we'll see here on restarts. Get the idea before the game that this was going to be one of their strengths tonight.
Brian Flatter, 19-year-old, delivers near post, not cleared cleanly. Now it comes back to him. Tried to take on Wojcik and earns another corner.
Yeah, that came down in a real dangerous spot, that corner kick, just inside the near post, inside the 6-yard box. And Really wasn't attacked very well by either team.
Flatter tries it again to the back post, kept alive by Hassan, but he couldn't turn it on goal.
Yeah, that's one he's got to head back, just back across the 6 from where it came. Too difficult an angle for him to try to redirect that onto goal. Wasn't going to be a danger for Kevin Taino. But put that right back into the mix of players. Probably would have been a better option.
Here is Zaire Bartley, defended by Jake Wilkinson. Been ever present at the back, started every game for Frederick. Rising redshirt sophomore at Radford. This is Darwin Espinal. Chance for Espinal to lace it with the left, but he drilled it onto the youth fields behind the goal.
Yeah, 2 times though here recently that Chatella's gotten the ball well wide, using the whole width of the field down the right sideline, and then found some space inside. First time it was across to Wojcik that time. Pass on the ground for Espinal.
We talked to Chris Spinks, the FC Frederick head coach, before the game. And Sal, he told us they'd watched no footage of the Cosmos.
I was shocked.
A, did you believe him?
I did, actually.
And B, how do you think that affects their approach tonight?
I can't imagine why you wouldn't. There's plenty of film out there. I can't believe that you wouldn't have had some time in the last couple of days to check out a number of games from the Cosmos. Really was a little bit surprised. And I did actually, that was one of the things I did believe, that he was telling the truth.
I'm just saying, he told us the wings were on the wrong side.
That was
so
it,
maybe there was something else. But no, you're right. Everything else seemed
no.
truthful. But it means that the first 20 minutes are a feeling out process and a learning of your opponent's strengths and tendencies.
He did say that. You know, you got the impression that they were going to kind of sit in and see how the game was going to go. They weren't going to high press, weren't really going to press at all and take their chances that way. So that was all the case. But I don't know, I guess there's 2 ways to look at it. You know, maybe you didn't have enough time to do a tactical session, may not even had enough time to practice since their last match. So why flood a lot of ideas, new things into the brains of these college kids who are on summer break and not in the thinking mode, and just go out and play, you know, and
fill their heads with confidence coming off of 2 results and a conference championship rather than stressing out over some of the resumes they're going to be playing maybe. And we'll see how it pays off for them.
Look, if you're confident the way you play and what your strengths are, you know, then let the Cosmos adjust to you, I guess, is the thinking.
Espinal closed down, but gets through 2, gets past a 3rd, rips it high. Darwin Espinal showing why he's been so explosive and why he's got 7 goals on the year.
Yeah, did all the hard work that time, really, to get through a couple of defenders. Nifty footwork there, freeing himself up for a great chance just outside the box. And then that last touch, you see, just getting through a couple, freeing some space right at the top of the box, center of the goal. Really, when all the hard stuff was done, you expect him to at least test Breno from that spot on the field. But he's getting closer. He just had one from a similar area in the pass from Jatella about 2 minutes ago. Hit that much over the bar. That one there a little bit closer. Maybe the next one will be on target.
Early 4-1 shot advantage you saw at the top of your screen for the Cosmos. And it's safe to say their 4 have all been more dangerous than Frederick's 1. Espinal, we told you, missed the last game of the regular season and the first game of the playoffs. And this is his first start since the injury. Plays this one forward for Jatella. Tried to connect with Bartley on a back heel, didn't come off, and Spear clears it long in the direction of Guidry.
And I think you know what you're going to get with the Cosmos through the years anyway. So to give Chris Spinks, the head coach, a little bit of a break, I think he probably knew what he was in for, and maybe it wasn't a need to really watch it.
Brown plays that across. Espinal will track it down. Trying to combine with Pittman, gets the ball back. Jatella with room to shoot. Breno over to get it on 1 bounce.
And an easier one from earlier in the match that he had to dive to his left and parry away for a corner kick. That one wasn't a short hop, He was able to have a little bit more time. That one bounced well in front of him, had time to read the bounce. Makes a good clean catch and save. And if he fumbles that one in front of him there, Wojcik was kind of waiting just at the top of the 6 to see what would happen. But good confidence catch from Breno.
Brown gets it back to John Neeskens. His cross too high for Wojcik, and Breno is there again.
Yeah, he's making some of these look easy. Those services really have to be pulled outside the 6 now. I mean, he's a big goalkeeper. He's aggressive. He's playing with some confidence. You keep playing those balls inside the 6, he's just going to grow and grow in that confidence throughout the match. You just got to keep going a couple yards out now. He's shown he's going to catch everything in the 6. Now start pulling him outside the 6. If he catches those, bring him to the penalty spot, see where his range is. Eventually, you'll find it's not going to be forever.
24th minute, still scoreless between the New York Cosmos B and FC Frederick. Safe to say, though, Sal, this one looks a lot more like some of the regular season contests the Cosmos had than the first 2 playoff ones. How possible is it to switch your mindset a little bit back to the way they approach those regular season contests?
Yeah, I'm not sure they think about that throughout the run of play. I think the coaching from Carlos Mendez is just play with some pace, move the ball quickly, right? I think just keep reinforcing having to get the ball wide here to try to create some space between defenders and behind defenders. But I'm not sure that they're going to go back to those games in the regular season. You're right. You're just watching it from the sideline here. That's exactly what it seems like. It's a matter of time before if they get the first, they'll probably get 2, 3, and maybe 4 like they did many times during the regular season. But when you're on the field and you're playing and the stakes are a little bit higher, I'm not sure that that thought process is going through the players' minds.
Yeah, and you mean no offense by it, but again, Brooklyn came out and took the game to the Cosmos. They'd already played him twice, so they knew what to expect, and they had plenty of reason to be confident. Elm City took it to the Cosmos in the first half. They had to really sit back after that. But it's just a different approach, and again, we'll see how long Frederick can frustrate the Cosmos tonight.
Right, and talking with their coach before the game, he said, he's not in the habit of going on the road and taking the game necessarily aggressively to teams. So this is kind of just the way they're used to playing and what they're comfortable with as well. So right now both teams are probably comfortable with the way the game is going. And you would expect the Cosmos hopefully get the result and get the goals that it seems like they're on their way towards today. But a hot goalkeeper in Philip Breno can change everything. And so far he's looked pretty sharp.
Wry smile from Jonathan Barajo. So that ran out for a Frederick throw. Frederick, Maryland, about 50 miles due west of Baltimore on I-70. Less than an hour away from Washington, D.C. also, although the traffic typically will make either of those drives climb if you go at the wrong time of day. Drove up this morning.
Not a right time of day anymore.
Yeah, true. The youth club starts at age 6 and goes all the way up. They have 2 teams at this level. They have the most competitive group here in the NPSL, and they also actually have a B team for this group that plays in an under-23 league in the area. So they have a couple players, even dressed tonight, who have spent time with their B team to get more minutes, and they use that for some of their graduating high school seniors as well, although one, John Eske, is available off the bench today.
It's a pretty neat club, and the fact that the majority of the players here at this level came up through their club, playing in their youth systems from a very young age. And they have this team at the highest level to aspire to.
Jalen Brown got the cross in, but there was nobody there as a target. Guidry whiffed on the clearance, though. Espinal, great footwork again. That's blocked out for a corner kick.
Well, he's been sharp tonight, except for the final touch. He's been real good on the dribble, able to beat the first and second guy, and it's just that finishing touch right now.
Everyone loves to think about the Cosmos and their experience and how experienced they are, but Espinal's 23. Brown's 23. Bartley's
Bartley.
20. I mean, there are, and Villela, who's on the bench, there are young guys on this team as well. Third corner kick for New York. They load up the 6-yard box. Pittman is wide open, gets the shot off, and it's blocked. Too many bodies in the way.
That's just always been the Cosmos way, going back to the 70s. A great mix of highly skilled veterans and young players always coming up through the ranks.
Barajo is 31. Sends it in back post. Wojcik trying to meet it. It runs to Jalen Brown in the box. Headed away by Nate Lee. Jalen Brown keeps it in and goes off the mark. But New York retains possession.
Yeah, Nate Lee with a big header there. Bartley looked like he might have been first to that ball, real close, and Lee headed it away.
Nate Lee's important for them. When he is not available, as he missed the conference final due to injury, Morris has to slide back to center back. We told you he's good in both spots, but there's kind of a ripple effect throughout the field. Nate Lee at 24, Justin Lee 28, two of the most experienced players. Both have played internationally for Guam, qualifying through their dad's mother, their grandmother, along with Justin's twin, Alex Lee, who has some professional experience as well. So several soccer families in the FC Frederick club between the Lees and the Eskeys, who have 3 kids on this team. The dad is the vice president of the club, and the mom is one of the directors. They both played college soccer at William & Mary, and all of the boys have as well.
Good bloodlines in the families. Sense a little tension on the sideline with Carlos Mendez. He seems a little more animated than he's been in a couple matches. He's up. I don't think he's frustrated with the calls necessarily. I think just
Justin Lee into the tackle, plays on the ground, wins the ball. But Chatella strips Morris in midfield. Gets it out early for Jalen Brown. 3 green shirts in the box. If he can get it in, he'll go backward for Neeskens. His cross. Nobody can get a clean handle on this turf. And Tommy Spear comes away with it. Guidry will be a redshirt senior at William & Mary in the fall. And by the fall, I mean like 2 weeks. Toure beats one, back to Guidry. Diagonal run, William Eske's onside, gets to the ball before Tainho and volleyed it high. Risky play by Tainho coming out, and Eske couldn't make him pay.
Yeah, risky, but did the job from Kevin Tainho there. Really forced William Eske into missing the goal. Coming off the line quickly was a good switch from Graham Guidry, as we're about to see here, and then it's kind of one of those one-on-one angle breakaways. Cosmo's looking for an offside, didn't come, but that aggressive play off the line by Tainho, making himself really big, forced Eske to try to go over the top of him and completely missed the target.
Tainho, one of the heroes in the shootout win over Brooklyn on Saturday. Critical saves in regulation just to get the Cosmos to the shootout, and 1 stop in penalty kicks. And that was all they needed. New York went 5 for 5. Brown's chip. Nate Lee didn't get it away. Comes out to Barajo. Jalen Brown on his right foot, saw it blocked by Toure. Comes back to Chatella.
We've seen a couple of those shots from distance tonight, blocked on their way in. Just a lot of blue shirts sitting behind the ball right now, clogging things up for the Cosmos.
Another semifinal in the Northeast region. FC Motown in New Jersey against FC Baltimore, which got in despite losing to Frederick. That cross deflected, almost got to Bartley, who's got a goal in each playoff game so far. Still New York pressuring. Barajo. Pittman saw it deflected out by Justin Lee, or beg your pardon, Nate Lee again.
More dangerous chances for the Cosmos tonight have come when they've gotten the ball out wide and then the service into the box rather than trying to build right through the middle.
The Motown Baltimore game starting half an hour after ours, so they're just underway over in New Jersey. Winners will play Saturday night. Frederick, the low seed, cannot host. Any of the other three could, depending on the results. Brought down by Pittman, who's played a big role in this postseason, just joining the club late in the regular season, but couldn't connect with anybody there.
And been versatile too. Travis Pittman last match started for the Cosmos kind of as an attacking center midfielder, and now without Garcia tonight for New York, slides next to Chatella, more in a defensive role in the center of the midfield.
Cosmos back to a dedicated 4-4-2 tonight with Bartley joining Wojcik up front.
All four of those midfielders, though, certainly have the ability to go forward, but Brown and Espinal out wide, the more likely Cosmos to get up.
Brown takes off running. Wojcik finds him. Jalen Brown with the cutback pass to San, looking for Zaire. Bartley just ran out of room. It'll be a goal kick for Breno and FC Frederick. Northeast Region semifinal in the NPSL. 5 teams finished the regular season unbeaten, but after Laredo's loss last night, only the New York Cosmos B and Minneapolis City remain unbeaten. Midwest semifinals are Friday night. Minneapolis City will take on Duluth FC. Ann Arbor and Cleveland meet in the other semi. Ann Arbor's hosting that whole tournament. Semis Friday night, final Saturday night. Everybody else has a more humane way of spreading out the games, but
it's like youth soccer all over again, playing tournaments on the weekend, sometimes 3-4 games.
Not even Friday, Sunday like college, Friday, Saturday.
And after a summer of, well, at least the last few weeks where it's really been hot and humid, it's a lot of soccer to be playing a short period of time.
Toure with an intercept there. Eske has all kinds of room on the far side. Guidry couldn't get it to him. Neeskens has been caught a couple times.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Penzini knew what you had saw there pretty clearly. Was Eske was wide open, but it turns out that that's a good foul. Slowing up play there, holding it up.
Penzini, the bearded one in your picture. Halfhill, the other one, shouting instructions. Nate Lee stands over the free kick. Played at both High Point and Penn State in his career. He actually had 2 separate stints at High Point, sandwiched around the Penn State tenure. Nate Lee to deliver the free kick, 36th minute. Met by Hassan, he turned it on goal, but Taino able to get there.
Yeah, he was wide open at the top of the box, but really just a little too far away for that one-time shot to really test Taino at all.
First save for the Cosmos Colombian-American goalkeeper. 3 already registered by Breno on the other side.
I'm not sure if that was designed like that.
Offside flag was up against Wojcik.
Yep, Breno was there again, though. It's a good strike from Wojcik, but that free kick there from Lee, you would almost expect that ball to be served inside the 6-yard box looking for a header. So they put some big players forward into the box, and then all of a sudden it goes to the top of the 18 and the player's wide open. He just was not able to get a real good strike towards goal.
Morris the target here under pressure from Neeskens. Foul whistled against the Cosmos left back.
Neeskens going to get a talking to there. He just blasted the ball 40 yards down the field after that foul. Anything like that again is probably going to result in a yellow card. But Frederick's got to be pretty happy here. Inside 8 minutes to go in the first half, and now in the last couple of minutes they've got some dead ball opportunities in the final third. Some danger. They've done well to take the initial pressure from New York.
Jake Wilkinson, one of the targets, as you see Neeskens readying to defend this. Frederick dangerous on a free kick a minute ago. Nate Lee delivers again. Spear was the target that time. He couldn't get anything on it. And Penzini just bangs it toward midfield.
Again, for me now, that's 2 in a row played to the top of the 18. You're doing the goalkeeper a favor if you don't play those crosses from that dangerous spot on the field much closer to the goalkeeper. You've got to put it in a spot where he's got to decide, am I going to come off the line or I'm not? You play it that far away at the top of the 18, there's no decision to be made.
Even if you're going against a team with 3 guys 6'2" or taller and you don't have that kind of height?
Yes, because the goalkeeper's 5'10". And until he can prove to me, and we've seen him play, but until he can prove to me, if I'm the opponent, that he's going to be confident coming off his line and catching balls in traffic, then I'm just going to continue to pelt him with crosses.
Long ball, difficult bounce, Halfhill under pressure, and Guidry is called for a foul. Not much there, to be honest, after the left foot of Nate Lee dropped in a long ball that was difficult to handle.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit, a subtle little tug on the arm there by Guidry. A lot of times it doesn't get seen. Referee, I think, caught it. Certainly was sold pretty well by Halfhill.
See what adjustments Frederick makes at halftime. Again, getting there 0-0 against a team you don't know, against a favored team on the road, probably good for Frederick, and it would give Chris Spinks a chance to make some adjustments based on what he's seen in the first half. Pittman trying to turn out of trouble. Does so with Jonathan Barajo. Breno, for once, didn't look convincing, but apparently did not get a touch. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, and maybe at the last second he knew that that ball was not going to hit anybody with the Cosmos at the far end there. You're right. It didn't look like he did confidently on some of the others. But if he knew at the last second that no one was there for New York and he was just going to let it go out for a goal kick, give him the benefit of the doubt for now. But Cosmos still need to do it, even though there was no connection there on that one from Barajo. They have to get the ball wide. Down the right side for him when it's on, and down the left side with Neeskens.
Bartley to Espinal. He's been dangerous all night, and he tried to ticket that one for the top corner. Once again, came up empty.
Yeah, it's 3 shots in the first half here from about that spot on the field where he's missed high each time. Sort of the middle of the goal each time. Again, it's a good little build-up. He's got the room. Frees himself with the little yard that we see there. And this is right and high. See some frustration now creeping in on Espinal. He's had a good run. He's had some good touches, but 3 times that final touch has just betrayed him a little bit.
He's Sal Rosamilia, former All-America goalkeeper at Columbia. I'm Jonathan Yardley. So glad you're joining us tonight from the Hofstra Soccer Stadium on Long Island, one of the homes of the New York Cosmos B, hosting FC Frederick in an NPSL Northeast semifinal. Playoffs not entirely linear, but this stage of the playoffs has 16 teams in it. Now some have already been knocked out, as the West and the South are farther along. Frederick, one of the smallest, certainly, in terms of market of those 16 remaining, but in a good soccer part of the country. And in their 4th year in the league, they're second making the conference final. They broke through, knocking off FC Baltimore, which had had a great first year, won the regular season, to win the Mid-Atlantic title on Saturday. Neeskin's going to drive it for the run of Espinal. Spear stays with him and lets it run for the 22-year-old Breno. That turns over. Barajo for New York. He played with Miami FC last couple years. Miami FC 2, now 1 win away from the national semifinals. Wojcik trying to free himself up. Out wide for Brown. Nobody in green attacking that cross. It will be a Cosmos throw-in. 43rd minute. Feels like not quite as much respect and space given by Frederick as the first half goes on. They're tightening up on certain players in certain pockets of the field. And again, Bartley finds some space here. Pushed off it by Kevin Morris, who will be a sophomore at West Virginia in a couple weeks. Hassan can't get it clear. Zaire Bartley had a chance to go 3 for 3, and he blazed it over. Zaire Bartley going to regret that one.
Yeah, fortunate bounce. Just kind of got to Bartley there, who walked in all alone on Brano and just skied it from in close. Wojcik was trying to get that one lined up and was knocked away and just fell right to Bartley, who surprisingly went high from that spot on the field.
Bartley's 20, grew up in the Bronx mostly, but born to Jamaican parents, spent some time in Jamaica. Played a lot in the Red Bulls Academy, but they felt like he needed to grow up some. Played last year with Red Bulls too, and trying to continue to grow and mature in his second pro season with the Cosmos B. Espinal's cross, a dangerous one, headed wide by Jalen Brown, attacking it.
And these are half chances now, and the Cosmos have missed 4 or 5 of these half chances to turn into a really good one. There was that one real good save early in the match from Brano on a shot from distance, but these last few as this half is winding down. Not done a great job testing Brano any longer. Some of them are really a little bit better than half chances, and they've got to do something a little bit more with that final touch than they've shown here in the first half.
Pittman found Espinal with a step on Spear into the box, plays it across, no clearance, but no finishing touch either, and it runs all the way through for a Frederick throw.
Yeah, it was a little too far in front of Wojcik, we'll see here, and it was a little bit behind Bartley, but
great first ball for
good
Pittman.
First ball, and Espinal does well. Uses his body, goes right to the near post, cuts off the defender, and you see just a little too far for Wojcik and a little behind the run of Bartley. Another one of those half chances gone missing.
Into first half stoppage time. Wojcik trying to get it back for Espinal. Neat footwork. Layoff and the goal. Zaire Bartley, playoff sensation. 3 goals in 3 games, and he puts the Cosmos B ahead in first half stoppage time.
And there's the finish we've been looking for in the first half. Zaire Bartley with a tremendous strike with the right foot. Good build-up again. Has been constant pressure here these last couple of minutes from New York. You see Espinal playing a little give and go with Bardich. And then Espinal does some more work here, just flicks it over to Bartley, who buries it to the far post beyond the diving Brano in first half stoppage time. That's huge right there, but Espinal again in traffic, does some good work, just sees out of the corner of his eye, sees Bartley there. And that time on his right foot, makes no mistake. And that's just a killer for
What a
Frederick.
backbreaker.
Yeah,
that's exactly where I was going with that.
Killer for them, because they did everything right for 45 minutes. Could have gone into halftime with tremendous momentum and great confidence with the way they played. Instead, just a dagger from Bartley right at the stroke of halftime. Really's got to give the Cosmos great feeling, because Frederick didn't really show an ability through the run of play to create a whole lot in the first 45 minutes. They were taking their chances on restarts. Now they're going to have to try to open up a little bit and chase the game here in the second half, thanks to that guy right there, Zaire Bartley, who's on fire here in the playoffs. And then you'd have to think, like we've seen in the regular season, as you mentioned earlier, if they have to open up, that's where the Cosmos again can really start to attack and maybe tack on a couple extra goals. Good game so far.
So Zaire Bartley's goal in first half stoppage time has the New York Cosmos B in front of FC Frederick 1-0 at halftime. We'll see what adjustments the teams make in the second half. We'll be back in about 14 minutes, and to bring you that second half action, go grab a snack, but come back with us. More NPSL playoff action headed your way. Cosmos B 1, Frederick 0 at halftime.
up, favorite eyes. Yeah, but how did you find this video? Sounds very similar to our conversation.
So next Wednesday.
Yeah, hopefully. No, like your last trip, we were talking about
We had a salt walk.
oh yeah?
Yeah. It's one of those like tournaments.
Is it like the league or one?
No, it's just a tournament. Like you win, it's 18 tournament. So you win, you move on. You lose, you don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's what it goes. Oxygen free.
Fruit. Oh. What a minute to do that on.
Oh, you're being in the leading Orlando City.
Who?
US Open Cup.
Who is
Philly. Is
Who
leading Orlando City.
won yesterday? Did you lose one?
No, they're playing tonight.
Or they played tonight against Chicago? How did awesome did they win?
Yeah, they're the only team left that's not.
They were playing in Chicago?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. Portland is playing LAFC.
Oh, for US.
And Houston and Kansas. There's one MLS game. Minnesota and the Revolution.
I heard the Revolution.
Is that Boston?
That's what I hear. Now they're the only team left without a soccer.
They still play.
They have it's City Gardens right by Air Station. You know the area there? There is.
That's like their own. That's like their Penn Station.
They have North Station and South Station. So all the trains from here to South Station. North Station main goes on north to south, northern suburbs. But there is space. It's by the water. That would suck. There's a site. It is big standing gravel. I don't know if it's by the water or the infrastructure. Oh, yeah. What do you need? Normally, the average is 18 to like. See the game DC United, the Oklahoma Stadium.
Yeah, I saw highlights of it. Yeah, well, they were another one that was playing at that RFA.
Oh, at least they're playing at the stadium. Nice.
Yeah, RFK was nice. They don't have baseball.
You have 70,000 stadium and you only have 15. Yeah. You gotta feel so
don't. It's not like a Saturday. You wake up and you're telling your family, you know what? Let's go to Harrison, New Jersey. That's actually a nice release. It is. But the point is, there's really nothing there.
If you just go there and like just read it, the way it's built the stadium, I think it's gonna sell out. He's already committed to stadium Park
If
Road.
it's, yeah, if it's like Yonkers, Westchester, like look for
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Actually, that's one of my favorite jerseys.
this one.
Yeah, I like the blue one. I like that.
No, this one's cool. But I like that blue one.
The one before that one?
No,
Like blue with the white?
With the,
Yeah. I like this one.
the new green one.
Yeah. It's like the plastic.
You know, the next World Cup is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be November. But every league plays in that time. Every FIFA league. So that means that all the leagues are moderate. And the fact that they're going to be like indoor.
But it's still gonna be natural grass.
Yeah, but it's going to be like an indoor soccer, right? It's gonna be like Toronto FC playing inside.
I was in July of last year. That was my last year. To Lebanon. We had to, it was like one of those like get out in the tarmac, to the bus, get out again, to the bus. Yes, it would be good. I agree.
But imagine that. Like that World Cup is going to be the NBA, the NHL, like and the NFL as well. Yeah. In the playoffs. I know they don't care, but I'm just saying like these leagues will have to like go crazy. Competing with
Those leagues are only US leagues.
See, I just want to see what Fox is going to do. They have the NFL rights, they have the NHL rights, they have the NBA rights. Like, I don't know how they're going to schedule that. Like, I just do not see them, like, kicking back the NFL game unknown channel or something. And then, like, Argentina's playing, like, Chile. Yeah, so pretty much 8 a.m. would be 3 p.m. This is when they schedule it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you'll have like 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
That's better than Korea.
Oh yeah.
Korea 4 in the morning.
I was watching every game on tape delay.
I would wake up at 10 minutes.
We're back with you at the Hofstra Soccer Stadium on Long Island. The New York Cosmos B leading FC Frederick 1-0 as we head to the second half in the NPSL Northeast Region semifinals. Alongside Sal Rosamilia, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Enjoying this one, but for FC Frederick, the task got a lot tougher in first half stoppage time. Only 1 minute added, and the Cosmos, who had dominated the first half, as you see, dominated shots, corners, and certainly big chances, finally took advantage of one of those chances through Zaire Bartley.
Yeah, and despite the stat advantage there for New York, it really was almost the perfect first half for FC Frederick, if not for the stoppage time goal from Bartley. Completely changes the complexion of the match. I don't expect a whole lot to change from Frederick in the first 15, 20 minutes. They'd be happy to continue on down 1-0 here and maybe take their chances in the final 15 or 20 and have to go for it. A second goal here in the first 5 or 10 minutes from New York would absolutely be killer for FC Frederick. But if they can still keep this 1-0 into 70th minute, I still think, you know, with the counter-attack ability and free kicks and stuff like that, they'd still take their chances at that point.
Underway in the second half of the NPSL Northeast semifinals. The New York Cosmos B in green and white with a 1-0 lead. And FC Frederick, the underdogs, in blue and white, their third straight road playoff game, attacking left to right in the second half. One change to tell you about at halftime. Brian Flatter has been replaced by the youngster John Eske. 18-year-old, he's a 1999 birthday, if that one helps you feel old. He'll be a freshman at William & Mary in a couple of weeks. He'll go wide on the left, so the far side from us, his older brother William will move into the middle. He's a dynamic winger, set up their game-winning goal that was scored by the forward Graham Guidry early in the second half against FC Baltimore on Saturday. So John Andrew Eske in for Flatter, the only change at the half. This is William Eske getting the cross in, but the ball had already run out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Cosmos.
And yes, I have a daughter who was born in '99, so I do feel old, thanks.
I try to make you feel that way several times per broadcast.
Okay.
I got you one before the game. There's one in game. We'll keep it going.
Surprised you're able to throw those jabs out there and take your eye off the FC Motown game for just a second. Might as well give that score. No,
might as well give that score. FC Motown leads FC Baltimore 1-0 in the first half at Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. Look, let's not lie. In this market, in the NPSL, Cosmos B and FC Motown have seemed on a collision course all year, and we're now less than a game away from reaching it. Jalen Brown trying to take advantage with the left foot. And down to make the stop was Brano.
Yeah, he made the stop at the 6-yard line, maybe even a half a step outside the 6. So really closed down the angle. It's a great run forward by Brown. Uses some good pace and ability with the dribble here. Takes the defender right around him, gets it to his left foot. It's a good shot, but watch the positioning by Brano where he makes that save right at the top of the 6. Really closes the angle down for Brown to shoot at, and then doesn't give up a rebound again.
You're giving me shtick, but every time I talk about FC Motown, there's a clear scoring chance that comes out of it for somebody. Here's Hassan playing it forward for the youngster, John Eske. Wants to get onto that left foot. He had to go, but couldn't square the ball up cleanly. It'll be a goal kick.
I will give you credit. You did call that one early. You felt FC Motown and New York were on a collision course to meet in the championship, and both teams now with the lead, 1-0. a game away.
So to reset the teams lineup-wise for you, FC Frederick has Phil Brano in goal, Bilal Hassan, Jake Wilkinson, Nate Lee, and Tommy Spear at the back, Kevin Morris and Justin Lee the holding mids, Seydou Toure, William Eske, and John Eske the attacking mids, and Graham Guidry the forward for the head coach Chris Spinks. And for the New York Cosmos B, Kevin Tainho is the goalkeeper. John Barajo, Alejandro Penzini, Garrett Halfhill, and John Neeskins the back four. Danny Jatella, Travis Pittman the holding midfielders. It's Pittman running onto the ball now. This is Barajo, the right back, sees the play broken up. Darwin Espinal, Jalen Brown, the wide attacking midfielders. Zaire Bartley and Wojciech Wojcik, the forwards for the 37-year-old head coach Carlos Mendez, North Atlantic Conference Coach of the Year. Retired as a player and the Cosmos captain last fall, straight into the coaching ranks with New York Cosmos B. Zaire Bartley, as the game's only goal, came in first half stoppage time. That's where we are as we play in the second half of this region semifinal. Pittman with the left, looking for the speed of Jalen Brown, battling with Hassan, the native of Niger. Jalen Brown comes away with it. Espinal trying to sneak a pass in for Bartley, but too much on it. I love that the 7 has peeled off Tainho's jersey. It was peeled off before the game started, and you just have the outline.
We had him listed as number 28 before the game, and then now 27. Now he's kind of 2.
Kind of looks like a 2, yeah.
An off-center 2, though.
He's been one of the stars of their show. Again, 6 saves in the semifinal, 6 saves in the final of the Mid-Atlantic Conference. Already 4 today by my watch, and that of my compatriot, keeping our numbers sharp.
Those goalkeepers are a weird bunch. That's probably like his lucky shirt. He has to wear it even without the numbers hanging off.
John Eske, not shy on confidence, shooting again. It's deflected by Penzini, and he does give away a corner kick in the end, earned by the 18-year-old.
Well, here's the opportunities that Frederick had really in the first half with some free kicks in the final third. Dead balls, had a tough time kind of maintaining possession through the middle of the field, which most teams will struggle against New York.
Behind the play, Bilal Hassan is down for FC Frederick.
He came in with a little hamstring issue.
Well, this might be our last chance, so I have to tell the story then.
All right.
He came to the U.S. When his sister got him a green card in 2014, and he called college coaches in the area. She lives in Frederick, and he calls Frederick Community College. He calls University of Maryland. He gets tryout information. He mixed up which one to go to. Pretty tough to mix up University of Maryland and Frederick, but he's new to the country. He does. He goes to the Frederick Community College one first. They offer him a spot on the team, takes it. Didn't know exactly everything he was getting into when he switched those tryouts around, but really had a great 2 years at Frederick Community College and is now going to be a redshirt junior. 2 years of eligibility left at Mount St. Mary's, which is restarting its men's soccer program. So no signal yet as Hassan walks off. He had the clinching penalty kick against Northern Virginia United in the semifinal shootout.
Not making a change right now, so they're playing a man down. Hopes that he can get back in the match.
Toure and Halfhill chasing that in the corner. It'll be a Frederick throw. Spear delivers. Guidry got a touch to it. It runs all the way through the box, but Darwin Espinal picks it up for the New York Cosmos B. Brown and Bartley on the near side. This is Zaire Bartley. Learn the name in the NPSL. 3 postseason games, 3 postseason goals, and a ballsy Panenka in the shootout.
I agree. I can't really say much else. I think that means good, right? Was it risky?
Yeah, I thought it took
cheeky.
I thought it took fortitude.
Cheeky.
Jatella takes it with him the right foot, forces another save out of Breno.
Yeah, he's been clean on a lot of those. A little short hop in front of him there, right on. Good positioning again from Jatella, from Breno rather. Breno able to see that one pretty clearly from distance. Easy save for him.
That's flicked on, looking for William Eskay, battling with 2. Garrett Halfhill had strength, but Eskay picks his pocket. Still going, and Barajo used his chest to get it away.
Yes, poked away by Penzini before the Barajo clearance.
Guidry, good footwork. Only 2 goals for William & Mary last year, but both were game winners. Couldn't connect, though. Here's Jatella, now 31. Danny Jatella has been a pro since 2004.
And I could see him being like Carlos Mendez. He's been that leader on the field, another coach on the field for the latter part of his career for Jatella. And when he's finally done playing, I could see him moving right to the sideline somewhere and becoming a good coach.
He's the captain of this group. He and Garcia had started every game but 1 in the middle of the field before Garcia was red carded on Saturday night. Hassan is back on the field, but he just signaled to the sideline, I need a change.
Yeah, he's got to get off the field.
He's down at the bottom of your screen, number 5.
He was dealing with a sore hamstring from the previous match or 2.
Justin Lee out of trouble, goes backward for Jake Wilkinson. Dad was a football player, and he has the build as well. Here's Alejandro Penzini, 25-year-old, his 2nd year with Cosmos B. Played for Adelphi here in New York after beginning his career at St. John's. Sub is ready for FC Frederick, and they will make their 2nd change here in the 57th minute with Bilal Hassan. Unfortunate to jog off. Justin Lee is going to go to right back. And Christian Morales is going to come into the midfield for FC Frederick. Morales scored in the shootout win against Northern Virginia United, or converted in the shootout, I should say. He was also on the UMBC College Cup team in 2014, but was an unused sub. Guatemalan American, Morales now 23. Here is Morales, gets it back to Justin Lee, who can play just about anywhere, certainly in the back 6 for Frederick. Have you noticed any change to the way Frederick goes about their business here in the 2nd half with a chance to talk about things at the break?
Graham Guidry has been a little bit higher up the field. They had 11 oftentimes within 30, 35 yards of their own goal defensively when the Cosmos had the ball. This time they're keeping Guidry up forward a little bit more, just trying to stretch it, give somebody a target guy to play through. And then they are committing more numbers forward. They've had some possession and some corner kick opportunities here in the second half. But that just opens them up a little bit more. They were very organized. They were disciplined in that first half, really did everything right for 45 minutes, and then those extra few seconds of stoppage time was the killer for them.
We asked Chris Spinks, what are the strengths of your team? And I think organized was the first word out of his mouth. So he'll be happy to hear you say that. This is John Eskay.
And this is certainly an offensive player, even though he's a young guy, just going to start his college career in a couple of weeks.
William Eskay tried to return it for Toure. Good idea. The New York defense able to handle it.
He's on the field for one thing, to try to break down players one-on-one, get opportunities in and around the box, create for himself, create for his teammates.
Morales hooked it in that direction, but I think Guidry was offside even if he had tried to play it.
And Seydou Toure is even a little bit further forward. They're almost, you know, they were a 4-2-3-1 in the first half, and they definitely have a second guy up top and maybe even a third. Still a half hour to go here. At some point, it won't matter if it's 1-0, 2-3, or 4-0, but Frederick is not sitting back and allowing the game to be taken to them.
Spear trying to turn out of trouble, sandwiched by two, still has it. Good footwork to get it away. Here's Morris, all conference as a defender. Morales with Lee, turned it over to Jalen Brown for New York. Pittman finds Espinal in the middle, Barajo making a good overlapping run. Here comes Johnny Barajo into the penalty area. John Eskay, fresh legs running with him. And it did touch the teenager last. It'll be a Cosmos corner kick.
Yeah, it was a real good first touch from Barajo. Just continued the pass forward. It was a square ball to him. He played a great touch forward to himself, continued the run, and was able to stay stride for stride and not let Eskay get in a good defensive position, create this corner kick for New York. Everyone back from Frederick.
Fourth corner kick for the Cosmos, taken to the back post. Brano knocked it farther wide, and now Frederick is able to clear as far as Travis Pittman.
Yeah, he's got to either close the fist there and punch that farther away, or catch it like he did just about everything in the first half.
Espinal able to bring that down, isolated against Spear. Now he has help defensively.
Without the ball, they're sitting back again, 4-2-3-1, but a little farther up the field than they were in the first half. And when they're able to win possession, Frederick's definitely putting a little bit more guys up top into the attack.
This is the longest Frederick has trailed for in its mini playoff run here. Trailed for less than 10 minutes. Against Northern Virginia, it was only in overtime that they trailed, quickly able to tie it. And against Baltimore, they weren't down for very long either. Now been trailing since the half. Zaire Bartley's goal, really the last serious action of the first half, is the difference between the teams right now. Man down behind the play for Frederick once again. It's Justin Lee holding his right calf. And it's going to be the second right back sub that Frederick has had to use. And the second one forced due to injury.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more than a cramp. When he first went down, he was grabbing at it. Thought maybe he's cramping. It's a decent night, little humid, but he asked to come off immediately, and it's not a good sign for Lee. They're going now to their third right back. It's a spot on the field for Jalen Brown maybe to expose. 3 deep on the depth chart at right back right now for Frederick.
28-year-old Justin Lee from Magruder High School limps off.
Well, Spinks, head coach Chris Spinks spoke about the depth.
We're going to see
the
it.
quality of the players coming off the bench for Frederick. Yeah, it's going to be tested right now. Jalen Brown over here on our near side of the field. He's looking for the ball already. It's not even in play. There it is. He's asking for it.
So they don't let Frederick get the sub in. They just restart with the Cosmos attacking 11 against 10.
Yeah, that's surprising. Lee has to come off immediately.
Espinal drives it over everybody, and now we'll get the sub. You stop the game for an injury and the guy goes out, why wouldn't you allow the sub?
Real surprising that the referee allowed that start. He's coming in right now, but there was a chance there. Brown was exposing the spot on the field where Frederick didn't have a player. At least trying to. He went down. He told the referees right in front of us. He said, you know, he called out to the ref, hey, I'm done. He gave the signal that he needed to come off the field. Frederick knew it. There was players up and ready to go.
So the sub is Luke Ahalt, 19-year-old sophomore at Longwood University. And he's one of the players who has spent time with their Pro 23 squad to get more minutes. This is his 6th appearance of the year in the NPSL. Now in the 13th game for FC Frederick. So 3 subs used by Frederick now, none by the New York Cosmos B, who have controlled the game in terms of possession and chances, but have just the 1-0 lead right now. Morris got a little greedy there, turned it over. 4-on-4 for the Cosmos. That is deflected into the path of Jalen Brown. Brown into the penalty area. Leaves it for Bartley. They'll keep it on this left side. Bartley sees some space. Espinal trying to combine with Wojcik. That led to the goal, actually, the combination of those 3. Nothing comes of it this time. We told you in the South, Miami FC2 and Little Rock Rangers are into the conference final. Out west, it'll be Orange County FC hosting Mulhouse Portland in Saturday's title game. Midwest will be decided in Ann Arbor, semifinals Friday night and the final on Saturday. We've got the Cosmos B and FC Frederick here. New Jersey's FC Motown leading FC Baltimore 1-0 at the half in the other Northeast region semifinal. That's the NPSL playoffs, and they've delivered a lot of overtime, a lot of drama already. And we're, I don't know, call it halfway through for these teams. This is the 3rd game. They would need 6 to go all the way to the NPSL final. Espinal ahead for Bartley, as it turns out. Calls off Wojcik. Headed away by Ahalt, the substitute right back, and Seydou Touré chases it down. I think his eyes lit up at a chance to run with the ball.
You can see the pace that he brings. He'd like to be running with it in the final third instead of his own defensive third, but
Guidry came back there to try and help them with possession, and they go all the way back to Breno. Morales for Ahalt. Touré tried to go around Neeskens. He took a knock. Ahalt comes away with the ball for Frederick. Touré is down, but Ahalt will continue forward, and why not? Cross headed down by Penzini. Again, the referee will stop play for an injury.
yeah, it was right in front of us. I didn't see much in the tackle. He's looking for a foul. Seydou Touré. There wasn't anything there, and you know, Cosmos referee didn't have to stop that.
Right, that's what surprised me.
Frederick, he was down well before that run forward by Ahalt.
Danny Chattel is telling him, he's saying, hey, it's our decision. We have the ball. you don't blow the whistle unless it's a head injury.
And I agree with Chatella. If Frederick doesn't stop it when they have possession and their player is down, why would the Cosmos?
Anyway, it restarts with New York. They weren't going to do anything serious from their own third there. And we'll see how Toure gets on. He's moving all right at the moment. Espinal running the right, looking for Wojcik. One touch, but it's offside. Offside flag is up. It won't count. How many times have we seen Wojcik offside in this postseason? And another goal chalked off.
Not sure if we have a good look in line with that ball there, though. Was that a square ball across? Was it forward into the run of Wojcik? Not a whole lot of arguing coming from him. It's a good service and a good finish right across the 6.
Another sub coming for Frederick. And it's going to be Kevin Morris making way here. Nope, it is Toure coming off. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's an injury from that tackle. He ran off pretty quickly there. Still like to see a replay on that because that seemed like almost a square ball across there, and in that case wouldn't be offside. Is that ball pulled back? No, that's a forward pass, but still too late to see. Can't see where Wojcik is when the ball was actually played. Definitely was a forward pass, so if he was in an offside position when it was played, it was the right call.
Drew Demich is the sub, 23-year-old who played at Hood College, the Division III school where Frederick plays its home games, and is an assistant coach there now. His 6th appearance of the year, all as a sub. And he's one of several Frederick players who have now played all 4 seasons for the club since their existence began in 2015. Turnover there, and at the last second, Wilkinson able to poke it away for a corner.
We're in that 70th minute now, and again, Frederick's okay with where they are, 1-0 down. Need to defend this corner kick here, but with 20 minutes to go, some changes on the field.
Jake Goslin, their leading scorer, is the key option available off the bench, but again, we don't know if he's really available due to injuries he's been battling, but he did make the trip. 5th Cosmos corner. Came off a Cosmos head last. It'll be a goal kick for Phil Brano.
Yeah, I think if you were going to play him, you wouldn't play him for just 5 or 10 minutes late in the match. He's on the trip. He's on the 18 roster, but not sure that he's an option, because if he is, I'd like to get him on the field. That's the leading scorer for that club there, and they're down 1-0 in an elimination game with less than 20 to play.
SK is combining on the left. This is John. Battling with Barajo. Goal kick for the New York Cosmos B.
It's just great defending there from Jonathan Barajo. Hopefully he's okay there, but he just gave a clinic on how to defend one-on-one. Used his body perfectly, allowed the ball to just run out of bounds. Obstructed, but without fouling. Goes down there right at the very end, but that was after a great job of one-on-one defending there against the youngster.
72nd minute. Bit of a quiet second half. Zaire Bartley's goal just before halftime is the only margin in the game.
It's been a comfortable 1-0 lead for New York, but it's a playoff game, and there's nothing really comfortable at this point in only having a 1-goal lead.
Exactly. Demich to Guidry. Game-winning assist in the CAA title game for William & Mary last year. That's broken up, though, by Penzini for New York. Espinal has been dangerous tonight, looking for the speed and the trickery of Bartley. 3 goals in 3 games in these playoffs. Cuts it back. Switches for Jalen Brown. His first touch knocked away by Ahal. Neeskins leaves it for Brown. Cosmos trying to play and move, but SK able to intercept and get the ball back on the near side. This is William SK. Ahead for Guidry. Some numbers joining in. Got the cross away. Chatella cushioned it for Pittman. Jitella runs up the passing percentage a little bit before switching it for Barajo. Espinal able to turn for a moment, but he can't get away from Kevin Morris. Morales out wide for John Esque. He's out there to run at defenders. That one didn't come off. Great touch by Espinal to find Bartley there. Cosmos have yet to make a sub, which we've rarely seen this late into a game lately. I think it's because Carlos Mendes is pretty happy with everything but the finishing touch.
You're not going to change your front six, I don't think, at this point. 1-0. Inside 20 minutes to play.
On the opposite, I'm not going to change my back four.
I meant back six.
Okay.
Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. Back four and the two in front of them. I think you just got to keep those the way they've been going. Maybe you bring some fresh legs up top to run at Frederick a little bit.
Jitella touched around one, but the ball was always going to run to the goalkeeper, Breno.
Nice to know you're listening. Thank you for catching that. Yeah,
absolutely.
You got to keep that back four the way it is. And they've been pretty consistent and very solid and having a good game here tonight for sure.
I have a sixth sense for things I can tease you about, and those get picked up.
Seems like more and more each game.
The region final, whoever's in it, is going to be Saturday night, and it's going to be a fourth game in 11 days for somebody, probably for both teams. Another sub coming for Frederick. Austin Thames is going to come on. 23-year-old played Division III soccer at Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. And Nate Lee comes out. So Morris will go to center back alongside Wilkinson. And Thames will go into the center of midfield next to Morales behind William Esque.
So it definitely seems like their leading scorer is probably not an option. Jacob Goslin. They keep bringing in all of the other possible offensive players that they have tonight.
Jitella on the run, finding Bartley, finding the hot hand. Zaire Bartley, out of reach, out of sight. Zaire Bartley, red hot, and carrying the Cosmos maybe to the Northeast Region Final.
That is such a nice play there by Danny Jitella. It looked like everybody on the field thought he was going to play it to his left to Jalen Brown, who was making a great run forward. Instead, he just plays it directly in front of him to Zaire Bartley. Watch this. Jitella sees Brown's wide open. Everybody's kind of stretching out towards him. And then Bartley does extremely well with that first touch. You thought he was going to continue his run towards his left foot. Instead, with the outside of his right foot, touches it that way. Watch it again. Jitella could have went to the left. Watch this first touch from Bartley. Lets the defender clear some space. And then just a really powerful finish. Man, is he certainly in great form right now, Zaire Bartley. Carrying the Cosmos maybe to the next round himself here. But that was really just a nifty little pass from Jitella there. The easy play would have been to Jalen Brown, who had a lot of space and one-on-one defending. Played it to Bartley, who seemed to be tightly marked. But a wonderful job creating some room and getting that much-needed second goal for New York.
I loved that last angle we had. It really gave a good look at the pass by Jitella. Joey Sanchez in for the Cosmos, replacing Darwin Espinal after the goal. 77th minute if you're scoring at home. Second time Jitella and Bartley have connected at that end of the field in the postseason. It was the clinching goal for a 2-goal lead in overtime as well against Elm City a week ago in the playoff opener. the last time those two connected.
Remember, Bartley's been coming on as a substitute for the Cosmos in this playoff run, but got himself a start tonight. He's making the most of it.
I mean, look, this is his chance to break out. He's 20. It's his second pro season, but obviously the first didn't go the way he wanted in that he had to change teams and didn't get a lot of starts. One start all season, not that much playing time during the regular season. All of a sudden, 4 goals in 3 playoff games. A, you're in the starting lineup, and B, people are going to take notice. Your coach, other coaches, scouts, Zaire Bartley putting the league on notice right now.
He's done it at multiple positions. You know, he's come on as a substitute for New York in the midfield at times, filling a need there. Tonight, up top.
Nieskins took a late challenge from Aholt. Great dummy by Jatella. Got it for Wojcik, and he can't match the dummy with his finish. '80th minute from the Hofstra Soccer Stadium, Hempstead, New York, here on Long Island. Alongside Sal Rosamilia, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Thanks for tuning in for this one. The New York Cosmos B minutes away from reaching the region final with a 2-0 lead over a very game FC Frederick team that won the Mid-Atlantic Conference title, playoff title, in just their 4th season of existence. DC United under-23s dropped out January 2015, and the NPSL went to its application box, found the FC Frederick page, gave him a call, and 4 years later, here they are at the region playoffs. 3.5 years later, really. John Nieskin's going to make way for the New York Cosmos, give that back line a little bit of a break.
Well, now that you have the second goal, you're a little bit more comfortable taking Nieskins out. Remember, a couple of games ago, he was dealing with an injury himself, so a smart play, smart move here by Carlos Mendez, getting Nieskins some rest.
I'd get everybody some rest. You have 10 minutes. Maybe they're slightly fresher on Saturday at this point. Alexis Villela is the man to come on. We've seen him at center back, left back, D-mid. Another youngster. Villela just turned 20 in April. A couple of 98s on the field for the Cosmos tonight. Joey Sanchez not shy about hitting that one. He'll take the throw in.
It's still tough to make wholesale changes or a lot of changes. 2-0 with 10 minutes to play. Frederick gets a quick goal here, make it 2-1. Certainly those last few minutes will be tense times.
Villela trying to combine with Jalen Brown. Dummies it for a throw-in. Pittman with an angle to goal. Caught Wojcik a little flat-footed. He in turn got Morales off balance and wins a free kick for New York.
Breno asking for 5 in the wall from here. It's a great shooting opportunity. It's far enough off of the 18 to go over the wall and get it down if you can.
I thought Bartley was going to get the call. He was angling for it. He's got 2 already. Sanchez just into the game, wants it himself.
Yeah, this might be the left-footed Wojcik here from this spot on the field. Goalkeeper is going to be covering the far post. If Wojcik can curl it around the wall to the near post away from where Breno is. Well, it looks like now it'll be Sanchez with the right foot.
Not too many other options.
They might play it short.
Joey Sanchez. Knocked away, but the rebound saved again by Breno. 2 stops to keep it a 2-goal game.
Yeah, that first one was tough because it just bounced right in front of him again. He tried to parry that away over the end line for a corner kick. Kind of got stuck on his hands and then recovered nicely for a big save there on Wojcik on the rebound.
7 saves for Phil Breno, topping the totals of 6 he had in each of their first 2 playoff games.
Here it is. It's a good shot by Sanchez. Watch the save from Breno. He tries to just parry that away for a corner kick. It gets stuck kind of on his hands, and then he has to scamper up to his feet real quick, make himself as big as he can, and just let that ball hit him on the rebound.
Wojcik comes out for New York, and Ivan Bertarame, 24-year-old Argentine-American, comes on for his 7th appearance of the year in all competitions, giving the big man a break. Bertarame, 1 goal to his credit in the regular season.
And we've talked a lot about the leading scorer for FC Frederick, Jacob Goslin, not being available tonight, it seems, for them. Let's not forget, we haven't mentioned Bloody Bardich a whole lot for New York. Their leading scorer, who is not available tonight, but hopes to be back at some point soon.
Rafael Garcia, out due to red card, will be available on Saturday if Cosmos B holds on here. And by the way, that game Saturday would be at Columbia, the Rocco Camiso soccer stadium where they played last Saturday, if Cosmos B can hold on here.
7:30 Saturday night kickoff.
2 at Hofstra, 2 at Columbia, where they've split their home schedule this year. And yes, you'd be stuck with us again on Saturday night. Hopefully I'll get off the bus at the right stop this time.
You don't like the subway, huh? That one train drops you right there. A couple blocks you have to walk. Is that the problem?
The express bus, you're coming from the east side to Columbia, the express bus actually was the best option in terms of time. I am typically a crosstown to the one kind of guy. And I took it home.
I don't go once this season.
With a lot of Cosmos fans.
Stop at Twin Donut before you got on the subway?
I walked right by it. Should I have?
Gotta stop, sure.
Okay, I'll do that on Saturday.
A couple donuts for the ride.
I'll bring you some pregame.
Don't forget Michael Lewis. We'll take a glazed.
Sanchez able to turn. Almost got it to Bertarame, but Ahold able to intercept for Frederick. Just 1 shot in the second half for FC Frederick.
Yeah, great job by the Cosmos. Just managing the game, killing the game, limiting the chances. Not a whole lot for Kevin Tano to do tonight. Certainly a lot busier in the last match against the Brooklyn Italians. But still, this game was 0-0 nearly to halftime and 1-0 till late in the second half. So just a good job by New York to always make it seem like this game was very much in their control.
Zaire Bartley with both goals to give him 5 on the year, but 4 in these playoffs in only 3 games. He's on the ball here. Wants it back from Jalen Brown, got it back, and Ahold able to slide and knock it away.
You know, with everybody back, Bardich gets back healthy and Garcia off the red card. There's some choices. There's a lot of options for Carlos Mendez in that front 6. Somebody pretty good is going to be on the bench.
I wonder if Bartley can get in the back in the Jamaica team for Olympic qualifying next time around. It's a long way off.
Keep scoring a goal a game, he will.
Exactly. Jalen Brown didn't trouble Phil Breno with that, but it will be save number 8.
As you said, I don't care what level it is. If you have the ability to score somewhere near a goal a game, people will start to take notice.
A little bit more power than placement on his finishes today, but his finish against Elm City was pure placement. Ryan Adelaide ready to come on for Cosmos B here. And it is Danny Jatella who makes way. Adelaide, another one who joined the team really late in the year, but has seen some important minutes in the playoffs. Chance for Frederick to get some numbers forward here. They've had some late heroics. Can they get on the board? 89th minute. Adelaide heads away. Villela clears to midfield.
Yeah. Well, you think about what's the spirit of the league, right? It's that. We had 2.5.
Jake Wilkinson out of the back. Looking for the run of Demich. Villela heads it down. Jalen Brown collects.
Garcia didn't even show up in the crowd. What? I said Garcia probably didn't even show up.
Cosmos B trying to go to 12-0-1. One of 2 unbeaten teams left in the NPSL pending Minneapolis City's game on Friday night. Either FC Motown or FC Baltimore, the opponent on Saturday night. Bertarame couldn't make the return pass count. Penzini got put in a tough spot. John Eske putting the pressure on, and Halfhill able to recover. Barajo kept it in play, and the Cosmos will try and bring it out of the back. They turn it over, though, to William Eske. Into stoppage time. At the end of this one, Zaire Bartley with both goals starting to blossom for the New York Cosmos B at just the right time, both in terms of the playoff picture and in terms of the leading scorer, Bledi Bartic, being out injured. Here's Bartley, Jalen Brown making the run. Pass may have been intended for Bertarame. It didn't come off. Neither did that. 3 minutes of stoppage time. The signal from the fourth official. We're deep into the first of those 3 right now. New York Cosmos B had to go overtime and even beyond in their first 2 playoff games, but they look like they're going to walk out reasonably comfortable winners here in the Northeast Region semifinals. That tells you how tough their conference can be.
Yeah, it's only going to, looks like it'll be a final 2-0 scoreline, but of their 3 playoff games, probably tested the least here tonight.
I mean, Elm City Express, the first game, is the defending NPSL champion, so that they came out of this region and that division, that conference. And the Brooklyn Italians, the only team to beat the Cosmos this year in the Open Cup, knocked out on penalty kicks after a tie in the conference final on Saturday. About halfway through the 3 minutes of stoppage time. Sanchez twisting and turning. Thames goes backward to his goalkeeper, Breno. It's going to bring to an end, Sal, what turns out to be a terrific end of the year for FC Frederick. 4-4-2 in the regular season as Breno catches that cross, but just like Zaire Bartley blossomed at the right time for this playoff run. Demich pressuring this, and Halfhill had to body him off.
That's a handball there by Morales in the middle. Pretty easy call, but yeah, it was a good run for FC Frederick through the playoffs, able to beat the 2 teams that had given them their 4 losses during the regular season, and came here, and really that goal right at the end of the half by Bartley in stoppage time in that first half was an absolute killer. Frederick could have taken a lot of confidence into halftime and some momentum going into the second half, but really kind of sucked the life out of them, and even though it remained 1-0 deep into the second half, Cosmos still had the game in hand pretty well.
A lot to aspire to for the kids in the FC Frederick club, but it's the New York Cosmos B who march on to the Northeast Region Championship game. Zaire Bartley strikes twice, and the Cosmos remain unbeaten, 12-0-1 on the year. They will host the NPSL Northeast Championship game Saturday night at Columbia. End-to-end good performance for the New York Cosmos B, even if only Bartley's power and enough precision get them through.
Yeah, deserved win for sure. 2-0. Maybe the least they could have gotten out of here. There was some good early saves from Breno. Here's Wojcik and Espinal working on the first goal to create. Espinal with the left foot there right to Bartley, who just buries it to the far post. And at that point, that was first half stoppage time. Cosmos dominated the first half, but looked like it was going to be 0-0 at halftime, and Bartley changed that and then put his stamp on it. It was a great pass from Chatella on the second goal for Bartley, and then he still had a lot of work to do.
Speaking of,
there it is. That's just a great pass from Chatella, and then the work still to be done by Bartley. First touch with the outside of his right foot, creating some space. Breno aggressively off his line, trying to close down the angle, but a wonderful finish from Bartley, and he's on a roll, carrying the Cosmos into a final, looks like against your hometown club. As of right now, I don't want to jinx them for you, but looks like maybe FC Motown on the horizon Saturday night.
That's the matchup those in the New York tri-state area have been waiting for. New York Cosmos B have made sure of their spot in the Northeast Regional Final. We'll have it for you Saturday night at Columbia. We hope you'll join us either out at the Rocco Camiso Soccer Stadium or by watching here at New York Cosmos or nycosmos.com. For everyone involved in our broadcast, our great production crew, my partner Sal Rosamilia, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Thanks for tuning in tonight. A swan song for 2018 for FC Frederick. The New York Cosmos B, though, marching on, 2-0 winners thanks to Zaire Bartley. Good night from Long Island, the Cosmos into the regional championship game.